So, Leki Fotu review. First play, Fotu in on stuff. We're gonna be watching number 95, right here, loose three tech. Let's roll it. Okay, so we can already see that like he has some good athleticism. Like he's definitely more explosive and like lateral, or he has more lateral mobility than in Al Woods. He's definitely the better athlete than Al Woods is. Um, Comes off the ball here. As he's coming off the ball, obviously notices that it's more of a run set, or it's a run set. They're going to get more aggressive with him, so he's not going to pass rush. What he's going to do is land his hands, land his hands. Look like they land first. The left hand from the guard shoots from low anyway, but he lands his hands, gets his eyes into the backfield, gets extension. He obviously notices in the backfield how wide the running back's track is, and when the running back's track is that wide, typically it's going to be an outside zone, so it's probably going to go to his outside shoulder. So he does a good job getting extension, pulling himself through to the play side, pull himself through, get lateral, and then you can see some of the secondary explosion there to the ball, and he gets in on the tackle with one of his other defenders there as well. Fotu sack in quotes, which means it's probably going to be like a bullshit sack, but nonetheless, he's a zero tech right here. Um, Zero tech versus center. Okay, so yeah, chase down sack, and the quarterback who just kind of runs out of bounds, and Sam Howell. But off the snap, what are we seeing? Rushing the center, two things. He's really high up, right? He's standing pretty much straight up, and look how wide his hands are. So you have standing completely straight up, little to no knee bend. There's nothing there. He's standing up. I don't know. He's that's completely straight up. I don't think he could even be higher than he is right there. Hands are wide. He gets his chest controlled. Not the best play. Not the best play initially. Now he gets some extension. He's working his hands a little bit, working the hands a little bit, trying to maintain some extension, trying to shed him. Gets the extension right here through the long arm. Gets both hands on, pulls with the left as he clubs with the right, arm over, and now the chase is on. So we like the fight. We like the fact that, hey, like even though he didn't win initially, he continues to fight with his hand. You can see he has some core power. He's kind of throwing that center around a little bit. So you could see he has like natural power, right? Like just the way he's tossing around the center, he has some of it for sure. Again, the technique isn't the cleanest, coming into a block like this, not the best idea. But again, secondarily, the extension through the left into the pull club arm over and then a chase down. Okay. Again, you could see he has some speed there, right? Like for a guy who's um the size he is, which is 6'5", 330 pounds. He definitely moves better than Al Woods. Moves better. Now, is he as good of a run stuffer? No, not in my opinion, he's not. But he offers a little more upside than a guy in Al Woods. He's obviously younger and has some more pass rush upside. So Fotu versus combo. Okay. He's right here. I'm assuming he's getting a combo by the right guard in the center. See, situations like this where, hey, okay, you see the run set coming. If you're trying to dent, like you're trying to dent the high leg here, or just take on the high leg, which is the center high leg, and the high leg in the post, the guard is the post. Take him on. What you have to do here though is when you recognize that's coming, we want to get lower, right? He's already a little bit high into this, so he comes into contact high, and because he loses a leverage battle initially, he continues to lose it, so he goes from high to higher. And what you want to do is again engage. You want to engage into that center. You want to do your absolute best just to latch him, drop your hips, drop your shoulder, so the right guard doesn't really have a strong like contact point to hit, and just sink into it and anchor down. Fotu comes into it high, doesn't sink down, and gets completely driven off his spot. See how far he gets moved. Not what you want from your nose tackle. You want to see him hold his ground a little bit better. And why? Again, it's not a thing where he lacks like natural power, which again, he's not as strong as Al Woods, but I think he's stronger than he's showing, at least in this rep. But even if we have good power, if we don't follow it with good technique, it doesn't matter at the NFL level. You gotta have good technique, and then your other stuff can take over. Unless you're a freak, unless you're an absolute freak of freaks, which is you don't find many freaks among freaks. Fotu lack explosion, no rush. Okay. Free tech right here. Yeah. Okay. And then there's reps too. We're like, yeah, more explosive than Woods, but coming off of the ball here, there's little to no explosion from Fotu. He chases him down. But look at him off the ball. You could tell he's not the most explosive athlete in the world, right? Comes into the rush again, high, standing straight up, hands are wide, hands are late, doesn't win, but again, with some effort and yeah, really, really just effort. It's just drive. Like he doesn't really do anything good here. The center or the offensive lineman has him locked up and he's kind of just moving with him laterally. I think at this point the offensive line is probably like this play is over, right? Now, good chase down, good effort. Like we like the effort here from Fotu in terms of like, hey, initially gets locked up, keeps engaging, keeps engaging, keeps engaging, keeps looking for the quarterback, keeps looking for the quarterback, chases him down, gets in on the tackle, whatever. But again, maybe not the best technique there. Fotu shed. Okay. Your three tech on the right side. See, now we have a good play of him shedding. So run set, obviously, guard works out to him quickly. Fotu does a good job coming into leverage with better or coming into the contact with better leverage. Now his helmet's under the other guy, which we talk about hips all the time, and it's really more so the hips being underneath, but helmet's a relatively good indicator at times. Hands inside, hands land first, gets low, gets extension. We can see right here that he's lifting. You see the lift, tight elbows, gets some extension, pulls himself through. So little push-pull action, getting low into contact, good hand placement. Good job grabbing the jersey, get some extension, look into the backfield. Running back starting to get kind of into your range. Pull yourself through to be there for the running back if you were to be there. Now, obviously, cuts back doesn't matter, but a good play by Fotu nonetheless. Fotu washed out. Okay, two eye tech right here. All right. Again, gotta have a little bit better awareness of combo blocks and be able to better handle these, right? Again, run set, right? Clearly, they're showing run. Left hand, look how wide it comes from. Right hand gets some pretty good hand placement. But again, what we want to do here is sink down, turn into the guy that we're already engaged with, and just and work off that right instep and anchor down. He again, he allows the offensive lineman to get pretty good hand placement right inside and left onto the shoulder. He gets torqued back to the inside, standing completely straight up. Torque to the inside, completely washed out of the play on a combo block again. Right? Don't want our nose tackle getting moved from, obviously he moves to the hash. Let's just say from hash to more than halfway to the top of the numbers. Not ideal. Fotu laid off ball reached. Okay, don't want that either. He is right here. It looks like 95. That might be 65 though. He might be here though too. Let me see. Okay, I think he is. No, no. Hold on. They both have longer hair. Okay, so that's 55, 95 right there. My fault. He's the three tech right here. Let's watch. Yeah, very late off the ball, completely washed inside or pinned inside. Why? Because the guard is reaching him, and look who is last off the ball. Well, actually, they're all pretty late off the ball, but Fotu's probably the most delayed. Him and 55 really don't have a good jump on the ball. So now you have one, his stance. He's looks like he's just trying to anchor down here, like he's not going to explode off the ball anyway. But lack of explosion off the snap, laid off the snap, gets reached again, comes into contact relatively high. You know, tries to get some extension here, but he ends up tripping over his own defensive lineman's leg and falling. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, he got pancake there, terrible play, he gets completely sandwiched, anything like that. But very late off the ball, very late off the ball. Unless their plan was for all of them to like lag tech. If that's the case, if the run time some led by blitz, and all these guys are basically going to take on the inner half of their guys and kind of like two gap a little bit, but in lag technique, okay. But I don't think so. Super late off the ball. Fotu too willing to string out. Okay, like string out the block and just run to the sideline without kind of being dictating a little bit more. He's a two tech over the right guard right there. Yeah. I want to see him at a certain point, anchor down here, right? And kind of get control of the play. Like initially, again, combos coming. gets hands on, but left hand wide, right hand wide and low, doesn't good, initially doesn't get the best contact, even though his right hand does slip inside, but that's more so luck than it is good technique. And then he engages, and now he's just again kind of willing to run with the offensive lineman who's trying to reach him. But get our eyes into the backfield and kind of see what's going on. He runs himself into traffic and then just falls over everybody. Got to be a little bit more forceful here. Get your hands on, anchor down, look inside. Again, just a little bit too willing to kind of go with the flow right there. Fotu, eh. All right. Let's see what that's about. Three tech right here with a wide B gap. Too late to shed. Got to be aggressive. Goal line. One, the hands are laid out there, reaching for contact a little bit. Again, pretty high. We could see his right leg is completely straight. So we have hands that are a little bit passive. We have him with wide hands. Now he does a good job eventually getting his hands inside and getting extension. But what do we have to do here? We have to be a little bit more forceful. We have to shed this before the running back's already running into the end zone. You know, hands on and shed them. There is no waiting on the goal line. And there is times where you don't want to wait to shed guys, but on the goal line's not one of them. You know, clear yourself. Get there. All right. Fotu stop versus Trent Williams. All right, that's good. He's the 4-eye right here. Loose 3, 4. I call him over loose 3 and a 4-eye. 4-eye's like really on that inside shoulder. Loose 3 is about here. So, okay. So this is a good play from him. Now, again, I don't love that he comes into contact like he does, but he sees another run set, gets lateral,